All right. Good morning, everybody. Go ahead and close this. I mean, it's 11, so it's not quite morning yet, but hi, guys. I am so excited about today because we're talking about video. And just yesterday, the owner of Instagram actually announced publicly that Instagram is no longer a photo sharing app and that they are moving away from photos and they are emphasizing immersive video experiences for their audience. So it couldn't be better timing, truly, to really talk about how to get unstuck, how to get moving on video. I know that you all understand the importance. I know that you all truly grasp like that it's great for your business, it can do amazing things for you, that it's a positive thing, but you're still maybe a little bit stuck. You're still kind of like not putting yourself out there and just lagging behind. So if that's you, today is absolutely going to help you. And at the end of this, I love to make promises for all of my trainings, but after this training, you should be able to easily create at least 5 reels or videos for your business that you could launch all throughout the next month. So if you made 5, you could do one a week. You could stretch them out even more than that. I mean, how good, just sit and like really think about how good that would feel to have that done and off of your list. Okay, so that is how I want you to feel. I want you to have everything that you need to take action on this because, we know that in business, people who take action, they are the successful ones. They are the ones that get the most visibility. They move a lot faster. So I want you guys to be the action takers. So aside from Instagram announcing that now all like what they're prioritizing in their algorithm is going to be video, which is important because you don't want to become obsolete. You don't want to become invisible after working so hard on your brand. But aside from Instagram, video is also super powerful and helping people feel like they know you and they trust you. I'll be completely honest with you all. I haven't hired anyone in like the past couple of years that I didn't feel like I already knew or had a connection with. So I want you to think about that for yourself. Like, what makes you choose to invest in something, whether it's a educator or anything, really, a AC specialist? Like, what makes you invest in somebody? And really think about how you can embody more of those traits. Anytime I sign a new client and a new client starts working with me, usually one of the first things they say is, Ren, I already feel like I know you. And this isn't just because of photos that I'm posting. This is because of these live trainings. It's because I go into my stories and I talk to people and I'm just, I've really gotten over the fear that comes with really showing up and talking and being yourself, just showing up. So some of the common areas that I've noticed that my clients and people in my audience who I love get stuck with video, it can be, number one, like not feeling like we have enough time, right? Video feels like a whole production. I need to have lighting. What is my background going to be? It just feels so big. And so it can feel like we don't have time. When you throw in, okay, but I need to edit it, I need to find a song, I need to do this, it can feel really massive and just like, I don't have time for that. I have 5 minutes. I'm not doing that. Okay. It can also feel like, we don't look good enough. I don't look polished enough to do a video today. I don't feel like my best self today. I'm not doing it. We can also not really like the backgrounds that maybe we have in our house or our salon. When we're on Instagram or we're on TikTok, we can see a lot of just gorgeous luxe environments and it can feel a little intimidating, right? Maybe you're just not feeling creative. It's like, well, I could do a video, but I honestly just have no clue what I would say or what I would do. Just feeling stumped. Like, I want it to be fun, but I can't figure out what I want to say. And then lastly, Another thing where we get stuck is just not feeling good about the technology. So, how can I actually, make it look like when I threw my hat on my head, my outfit changed and it actually looked right? So, we get uncomfortable with the tech. We don't feel like we really know how to do it. And so, we kind of use all of these to shut down and be paralyzed. If you've been around for a while, I talk a lot about going goat mode. So, goats, when they get scared, they actually just faint. They just pass out. And I think a lot of times that's what we do. When things feel overwhelming, we just faint, we go goat mode, and we don't take any action at all. So, in my perspective, all of these reasons that we kind of talked about here could be summed up as basically perfectionism and the fear of looking dumb. Okay, so both of those are super valid. And, let's honor that, right? Like those are real human fears, those are real human tendencies. So it's not about shaming ourselves for that or beating ourselves up for that, but it's also just recognizing, hey, I have a lot of excuses here. I'm making a lot of excuses routinely to kind of hold myself back from making more money in my business. Like I should pay attention to this. And if you have a different reason, so let's say you don't relate to any of the reasons above, but you're also not hopping on video anytime soon, please comment on this video and share with me what is making you stuck. Where are you in this process? And, I would love to be able to help you, even just share a tip with you so that you could maybe break over that barrier. So, with photos, I think we've all adjusted to posting photos. I mean, think about it. Photos can be edited. Even think about Facetune. I mean, we can thin our faces, make our eyes bigger. We can change our waist. Like, we can really edit that to where we feel comfortable. And if you think about photos of our work, so our client's hair, our client's skin, that's not really about us. That's about the skin. That's about the hair. It's something unrelated to us. But video can feel really vulnerable, you guys. It does. It absolutely does. And because it's more vulnerable and you might mess up your words or you might say something wrong, we get super freaked out by that. And it's way easier to start getting in our head about everything, right? And start tearing everything down about ourselves, even though we've worked so hard to get where we are. Why didn't I say that perfectly? Oh, I need to re-record it. Why does my voice sound so weird? Like I need to work on my voice. Like, why is my posture like that? That's so annoying. So it leaves a lot of room for us to be really hypercritical. And instead of doing that, instead of going through that discomfort, obviously many of us choose to not even go there. But today, I want to invite you guys to, first of all, say thank you to those instincts that are keeping you from being vulnerable. And honestly, they're trying to keep you safe. Those instincts are like, wait, there's some risk here. Slow down. So we're going to thank those instincts for being there for us, trying to protect us and keep us safe. But we're also going to say goodbye to them. Okay, so like all of us understand that the critical perfectionist voice, maybe it's literally somebody from your past that you hear in your head, but that voice gets in our way of scaling our business, of getting new clients coming in, of making offers to our existing clients. Like that's not our best selves. And I think we can all agree to that. So I want you to be open to let's let this go. And I'm ready to kind of like move forward from here. So if you guys are ready, I would love for you to type I'm ready or go down into the comments and say I'm ready and just really own this part of like, all right, I did do that. I have been critical. I have been a perfectionist. I've been bullying myself and tearing down what I look like, sound like, who I am, and I'm done with that. So once you really feel like you're ready to close the door on those, thoughts and feelings, I have some really practical steps for you that you can use over and over again in order to make some make some progress with this. So let's say you set a goal today and you're like, you know what, Ren, I've been doing no videos. So my goal is to do 2 videos a month. So one every 2 weeks. I would totally cheer for you with that. That is progress. So I'm not suggesting that you set a video goal of okay, I've never done video and now all of my posts are going to be video and that's it. Okay. Work with yourself, flow with yourself, and just make some baby steps. Okay. We don't need that all or nothing type of behavior, which again leads to goat mode. We just get to set very achievable steps. So I have 3 different steps for you. So the first one is really for my people who struggle with not having the time. So anytime that we're kind of getting in our head about, I don't have time for this, we are most likely over exaggerating the time it's going to take to accomplish it. Okay, so we're thinking, oh, it'll take me 3 hours to put on makeup and edit and then post it. I don't have time for that. Okay, so we need to be getting realistic about we can make small progress. So you don't have to do start to end in one sitting. Okay, you could do one step. So maybe the first step you're making today is you're going to write down a bunch of ideas, which I'm going to help you with in our next step. So maybe today you write down the ideas. Maybe tomorrow you record. Maybe the next day you edit. And then the next day you kind of schedule it, polish it, and post it. I mean, how freeing would that be to kind of split it up so it doesn't feel so big and like such a burden? So I want you to break it into smaller steps. And another thing that I want you to think about is marking an hour off of your calendar in the next week for video. So once you get really good at this, you'll be able to record 4 or 5 videos at a time in 1 hour. Now that would feel amazing, just like we were dreaming about at the beginning of this training. So by planning ahead, you're actually setting aside the space. And you're also knowing, okay, my hair needs to be clean that day. I need to get up earlier than everyone else in my house so I can have the quiet time in order to record. Or I need to make sure my spouse is home at that time to look after the kids so that I can go out and go on a walk and get this done. So try to just plan this ahead and set yourself up for success. Obviously, if you are not feeling well and you aren't put together and it's a stressful day, if you're like, oh, I'll try to do a video today, you're not really setting yourself up to win. And so then that's, of course, going to make you feel a lot of negative emotions towards making video that are maybe just a little bit of poor planning. So set yourself up for success and break your task into tiny pieces. So the next tip is for when you cannot think of an idea. You don't know what in the world you're going to talk about or what you're going to say. And what I want you to do is I just want you to think of your favorite client, okay? We worked on this last week, so hopefully you still have some ideas from the action that you took last week on this. I want you to think of your favorite client and just, if you want to write more than 3, do more than 3. But if you just want to stick with 3, write down 3 things that just drive her crazy about her hair. Maybe it's that it gets really frizzy, okay? She spends all this time on it, and then as soon as she goes outside, it's frizzy, it feels ruined. Maybe it's that her nighttime routine, she just has no idea how to sleep with her hair in order to make her style last longer or keep her hair healthy. Maybe it's she just feels like no products work for her because she's most likely, as we know, underusing them. She's not using enough. So she feels like no products work for her. So you have these ideas, and these are topics that you can talk about like the back of your hand. You could talk about these topics in your sleep. And please start there. Start so simple, and you can really create a amazing 15-second video clip just talking about a nighttime routine. Hey, want a better nighttime routine? Put in a leave-in treatment overnight. Use a silk pillowcase. Braid your ends so that they don't get all twisted and frizzy. You know, there's a whole reel. That's done. So I want you to really break it down into something simple like this. So often our brains, because we're in the industry, we go into huge topics. We just go giant. Like, oh, the difference between balayage and ombre, or like, a great bob and a bad bob. Like, we're just going huge, when what people are really Googling, what they really want to see is like, how do I get the tangles out of my hair when I get out of the shower? Okay. My client Bonnie, we did this exercise together when we worked together. She literally did a reel just brushing out her client's tangles at the station. So the client's face wasn't in it, added music, and it had, I believe, over 5,000 views. How simple is that? We make it too big. We make it too complicated. Okay, so then the last tip is, not everything has to be your face. So I know that a lot of what holds us back is how we look, sound, act, all of that stuff. So if you're baby stepping into video and maybe you're not ready to be on, you're not ready to show yourself, you can do all of these things that we've been talking about without even showing your actual face, okay? So even consider writing an inspirational quote, or writing like an insight about what true beauty is, that a hairstylist, you know, what your hairstylist wants you to know. And then it's like a sweet like quote or some tips about that. And then turn that into a video using an app like InShot. So it's technically a quote, but now it's a 15-second video and you're done. You did it. Even consider walking into your salon space, which I know you've worked hard on, I know you're proud of, and just recording, right? You can do a little spin around and like just show people what your space looks like, and then add a couple of things that you love about what you do. Maybe it's that you specialize in blondes, you've been in the industry 20 years, like whatever, but it can be this easy. Again, we make it so hard. Okay. And just even think about writing a couple of facts about maybe why you're different, or even your story about why you got into this. Okay. So all of these ideas, you know, I feel like just from what we've talked about, you could make like 10 different videos just from this. Okay. So just to recap, we have break doing video into smaller bite-sized pieces. So instead of I have to sit down and do hair and makeup all the way to editing and posting, you can separate every step out. I will write my ideas on this day. I will record this day. I will edit this day. I will post this day. Okay, break it up. Also, mark that time off in your calendar so that you know it's coming. You know you kind of need to look camera ready that day. You can plan ahead a little bit. Next, I want you to think of a real life client and what she is stressing about. So instead of sitting there and just having a blank piece of paper and you're like, what the heck do I do? I want you to just be thinking about, what would Angela want to know about her nighttime routine, or what could she be doing better when she's styling her hair, and write out those ideas. These are the ideas that you're going to naturally be able to talk about easily, and that people are really going to love. And then lastly, consider not even putting yourself in the video. Take photos or videos of your space, videos of products, make quote tiles. Like, really think outside the box with this and simplify it so that it doesn't even have to be about what you look like, sound like, or any of that. So before we close this out, I want to lovingly share that when we start hearing ourselves say things like, well, I just don't know how to do that, that in this day and age, it's just really not acceptable anymore. Like, I love you guys so much, but I want you to recognize when you hear yourself saying, well, I don't know how to use the reels like buttons, or I don't know how to make my video look good. I want it to look good. I want you to recognize that the answers are literally at your fingertips. You can go on YouTube and search for how to make my first reel. You can search for how to make my video look better and find a million tips. You can search for making videos with an iPhone or with an Android. So there's so much out there for free in little bite-sized pieces, much like this podcast and this video training, where there's really kind of no excuse to just say, well, I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to do it. So remember to be resourceful. Just Google it, just go on YouTube and empower yourself. Because when we say, well, I just don't know how to, so I'm not going to, we are in a disempowered state. We are in a place where we are almost like a victim, or we are a damsel or something like this, where it's like, well, I can't make more money because I just don't know how, or I just don't know how to do video. We need to be in an empowered state where we reach out for support, we reach out for answers, and we know how to use our resources on a regular basis so that we can make the steps forward. It is all literally out there at your fingertips. You could learn how to do anything. I have literally changed the garbage disposal in my sink and changed all the faucets, put in new light fixtures. You can do anything. You can learn anything out there. It's just taking 5 minutes literally to try. So I hope that today has helped you have some ideas for video and really have more confidence, in letting yourself get unstuck, letting yourself start moving forward with this. I absolutely cannot wait to see what you all create. So be sure and either DM your videos to me, or you can tag me in them. It is Wolf and Rabbit Inc. And I can't wait. You guys are going to do amazing. I know it. All right, everybody. I will see you all next week. Thank you.